want to not trust no more.
Hey y'all, what's up everybody? I hope y'all are well out there, and shout out to my Jaratones. I hope y'all are well, okay? So I am Jaren. I am a voice teacher, speech trainer, and the founder and owner of this awesome studio, the Jaren Emlegre Studio. When I saw this concert post, I said I must dive into this at least a little bit, because this is a great concert and he is a great singer and from my home state, actually my home area. We're from the same area. Shout out to Northeast Ohio. But anyway, as I always say, I'm going to start and stop a lot while this video is going. So if you like starting and stopping and talking about things as they happen in the moment, then go on to another video or click the link below to see the full video and the full concert in its entirety without me talking. But if you want to do the kind of thing, then stick around because you have found the right channel. So let's do it, y'all. Here is a voice analysis of DURAND BERNARR's Tiny Desk Concert.
1, 2, 3, 4. Did you smoke today? Have you yet put something on your stomach? Yeah. Did the sack kick in already? If not, get ready, cause it's coming.
I like those two lines right there. Stomach. It wasn't stomach. Stomach. And they kind of said it in the open vowel. Stomach. Come in. Instead of come in. Come in. Come in. Stomach. And you can hear the vibratos placed on the ends of these lines. It's not like all over the place. It's not throughout the whole line. It's at the end of the line. And the rest of the line is kind of percussive and kind of straight tone in nature. And it's light and airy and kind of, you know, breezy in approach.
I'm so woke, I'll never sleep again. You learn real quick to be your own best friend. Expectations lead to heartbreak, and that's what broke all of my faith.
He has one of the most pliable larynxes, vocal tracks, throats that I've heard in a long time. He just really has such a unique control and freedom in how he uses the sounds of his articulatory approach, his vocal track, all these things. You hear a lot of different textures coming from his voice. And it's just by how he shapes his voice or his throat or his larynx, whatever you want to call it, all those things you can shape and make different sounds with. And he just has such a freedom. He has fun when he sings. You can just hear it. You can just hear the fun in his voice.
Fun now that I know that it's just life, and not because I'm not living right.
Living right. I like that little pop up there. The background thing is dead. That was nice. I like that.
Doing what I want done to me. Helps me sleep so good tonight. Did you smoke today?
He's so smooth in his approach too. Everything is very fluid and everything connects so well. He just has this freedom, this buoyancy about his voice. It's just, it's just free. It's just, that's the best I can describe his voice. It's free. Free and fun. Just free and fun.
Have you yet put something on your stomach?
Did you hear the background singers on stomach? They kind of swelled and opened up the vowel just a little bit. Stomach. Stomach. It wasn't stomach. Before, when they were in unison, it was stomach. But when they did a harmony, stomach. Add a vibrato and open up the vowel just a little bit.
The sack kicking already. Not get ready, cause it's coming.
That was nice. Again, that pliable, movable larynx. You can move your larynx around and it's okay. You don't have to keep it in one position. You can move it around. It's probably better for this kind of music to move it around too. Like, you really kind of only keep it more still, maybe in classical. And I use these quotations really big because I'm painting with a very broad paint stroke here. It's not one size fits all, but I'm just saying usually in that classical style, everything's low larynx and everything is tall, you know, so it's kind of more of a fixed position, if you will. Again, big quotations. I'm not saying it's one size fits all. I'm not saying everything works the same that way. But anyway, you can hear his larynx going down, and then he pops into that head voice, that hooty head voice, if you will, and kind of went up to that thin folds, and I may have the notes wrong, but you see what I'm saying. You can hear how my voice literally changes when I change the lyrics. I'm going low larynx and kind of more of a higher larynx head voice. So low larynx chest voice, high larynx head voice. Listen. You see how I did that when I popped up with the yodel flip? how the sound changes. That's what I'm talking about. He has such a freedom in how he uses the vocal track. He can literally make different sounds happen because he's using his vocal track to such a free and buoyant way. He's not locked in one position. He just goes down and has fun with it. And all that going up and down really shows how wide and broad his range is. Not just pitch wise, but laryngally. His range laryngally, how he can use his vocal track to manipulate sound.
Today, have you yet put something on your stomach?
No, yeah, something like that. Oh, I can't. Ooh, I probably butchered that. But you see how he changed that shame. Oh yeah. So he used his lips to pucker. Yeah. I think the word was yeah or something like that. But you see how he got bright at the top. Oh yeah. You see what I'm saying? Again, I'm not singing right notes, but you see how he's using the lips even right there. He also did a lot with his larynx and opened up the vocal tract and kind of retracted and kind of made everything wider. Oh yeah. But then kind of came out of that wide, low part into more of like a speech-like quality towards the ends of that run right there. Yeah, he does a lot and I love it.
Now get ready, cause it's coming.
How low he was? Yeah. Like when I was listening to this concert at first, I was like, man, he has so much more range pitch-wise in this context than I guess I thought before. You know, not that I ever doubted it, I just never considered it. But like he's getting down to some like bass notes. Yeah. Whatever he was doing, all that stuff. That's like low-key like bass area, if you will. And then my thought process when I was listening to this, after my first thought, I said, he has like baritone qualities to his voice. You know, like he can kind of get down there, but he can also get up there. You know, he just has a very wide range, but he can kind of get down, you know, towards the bottom of the, you know, note stratosphere, if you will, you know. And I think a lot of times lower voices don't get a lot of shine because they're low, or not a lot of people sing, you know, the baritone notes or like, you know, that kind of thing. But he's a great example of a baritone type of singer. I'm not saying he's baritone. I'm not saying he's baritone at all. I'm just saying he has those notes within him, and he still finds ways to use these low notes to work in his favor to where it's good. I think a lot of people think like lower voices aren't that good, they can't move. Exhibit A, he is moving really free and without a problem. Clearly you can move with these kind of low notes, things like that. So don't you let nobody tell you with your little low voice, your baritone sound, whatever, that you can't do nothing. That ain't nobody out there singing that. They are. Exhibit A, okay? There's people out there who's singing that low stuff who can do it. It's almost like a resurgence of more lower voices now in today's music. You know, I feel like, you know, there's a few more like, you know, baritone, bassy voices than there was, you know, maybe even since I was growing up, you know, because, you know, like when I was growing up, it was like Carl Thomas. I'm trying to think who else. Tyrese, Usher, you know, I had them kind of people in my ear, Eric Benet, things like that. But now you got Giveon, you got Durand, you got all these other people who are kind of getting lower a little bit and making it good. So I'm just saying.
Taking deep breaths anytime I'm weary. Don't apologize cause it remains empty.
There's a little kind of nasal forward narrowness to his voice right here. You kind of hear that little I don't get all the notes wrong, but you know what I'm saying.
You don't have to act like you give a damn. And if you did, what could you do? It's not enough to even pull me through.
You know, I love this tight harmony stuff. Them background singers are singing, okay? That little walk up that they did the second time. Ooh, yeah, and it was clean. They moved cleanly. This is good. This is good. They sound good.
To the brim with every cliche. I need a moment to get away. Just love me. Don't ask me.
Don't, whatever the notes were, you hear the slight change. Don't sound. It was a very slight change, but again, he changes his vocal tract a lot to shape the sound, the textures of his sound. It was kind of nasal, dun, and then as he walked down, it kind of got less nasal and more kind of open, dun, and I'm exaggerating just a little bit. Don't ask me. I think that the word's ask me, I think. But yeah, you see what I'm saying right there? Yeah. Don't ask me. Again, a lot. Oh, come on, I got low a little bit. Surprise my own self. But yeah, you see how he kind of got down there. Again, it kind of got open, low. Ask me. Yeah, it kind of got low and open as he went down there. You kind of see the lips pucker and got warmer too. And I bet you that more focused lip position really gave him some focus in the sound to get down there more cleanly. That can help too. From what I hear, and I'm on a computer without headphones, but from what I hear, it's almost like, well, number one, it was definitely whistle something. It was some kind of whistle tone, I think. But then I also think that there was some kind of polyphony, something going on with how the whistle came out. The friction of the whistle, or the shape of the whistle, it added notes. You know, kind of like a subharmonic note thing. It kind of added some notes to it. You know, I think that's what I heard. Yeah, I'm like 90% sure that's what I heard. Because I could hear other notes under the main note. You know, I could hear other like subharmonic notes under the main note. So I think it was like how the friction or the shape of the whistle was executed. It made for like a multi-note sound, if you will, or a multi-voiced sound, if you will, on that whistle note right there. Look, I don't got no whistle notes. Like, it depends on the day. I don't have them consistently. Like, I can't just call them up like that. Like, I have to think and say, okay, I'm gonna do whistle today, or like, is my voice gonna do it today? Like, I can't call it up at will. I wish I could, but I can't. At least not yet. I'm gonna learn, because once I get that whistle down pat, y'all ain't gonna tell me nothing. So I already got the high note. Shoot, give me some whistle too. I'll be in church like,
what you say, y'all?
Did you smoke today? Have you ever put something on your stomach?
I love stomach. It was like heady and bright, straight stomach. Yeah. He has such an easy vibrato too. His vibrato is even buoyant. It's just bouncy and fun. It's just, yeah, he just, it's just so balanced, so balanced. Yeah, I love how he just moves through all these bites and sounds and everything. It's so good.
I just want to let go.
This low-key sound a little classical. He has that low larynx and that shape. Just wanna let go. Like, low-key, I'm like, you could probably tear up some classical music. For real. He could probably tear up a good Handel's Messiah or something. For real. Like, it has that sound. And you can even see in his body, he's straightened up a lot. And he's here. Instead of I. It's here. So he's really engaging all these supportive muscles. And he's kind of more straight up. I just want to let go. And that vibrato is more consistent, which is very conducive to classical music. Yeah, you know, yeah.
Free fall.
Roll your R, sir. Free fall. That reminded me a little bit of like a Rochelle Farrell moment where they test the limits of vocal production and singing. I said in another video on TikTok, I was like, one thing I respect about Rochelle Farrell is that she pushes the limits and challenges the thought of what singing is and what is accepted as singing. You know, she did some kind of whistle note where she was kind of doing this like really quick, something like that. I mean, of course, she's a great singer. That's what I'm saying. But like her, I was saying, I respect the fact that she challenges the very notion of what singing is. That road R, free fall. Like, who said it's not singing? Again, this is somewhat challenging the notion of what we accept as singing. For me, it's in the eye of the beholder. You know, you don't have to like it or accept it, but it doesn't mean it's wrong. It's just you don't like it. I like this little road R right here. Free fall. You know, I like that. That was fun. And it's singing. It is his artistic expression. It is an intentional move he wanted to make there. And he did it. And it was great. It's art. It's art. There's nothing wrong, good or bad, right or wrong. It's art. You can like it or dislike it. That's up to you. But art is art. Period. Art is art. Art is art. You know, again, you can like it or dislike it. You can have your own opinion about it, but it doesn't mean it's right or wrong or it's good or bad. It's just art. If you don't like it, you keep going, you move on. If you like it, you stay and enjoy it. That's it. That's all you got to do. I don't know what made me get on that soapbox just now, but I think a lot of times I just see people get so bogged down about, oh, this wasn't good. She ain't singing. According to you, she's not singing good. According to you, they're not singing right. But if it's their artistic expression, it's their art, who am I to say, oh, that's good or bad? That's no. No. My job here is to just tell you the sounds that they're making. I leave the opinion up to you personally. You know, that's kind of where I come from with that. But that road R was cool. It was something different and unique, and I enjoyed it.
I don't want to not trust no more.
Whatever that run was, you see how he opened up and really played with the vowel shape. I don't want to trust no more. I think the word is no more. I don't want to trust no more. But he did, I don't want to trust no more. Yeah, vowel manipulation, vowel omission, vowel migration, whatever word you want to use, vowel substitution. That's what he did there. Even with the R, consonant omission, consonant substitution. Instead of the R and more, it was more. More. Yeah.
Just want to let go free. Catch me.
And then he flipped to the head voice. Like, for real. He could probably kill some Handel's Messiah. I'm telling you, that every valley, all them runs, help me. I used to sing that song. Ooh, you see, I was singing it a long time. When I was a tenor in classical music, I would sing that song. And I've never been hired to do Handel's Messiah, ever. But that's okay. Somebody gonna hire me one day to sing the solos. Alto, soprano, whichever solo you want me to sing, I'll do alto. I know that's my Redeemer liveth. Well, you know, I didn't know the key. That's probably the wrong key. But anyway, back to what we were talking about. Like, you see how fluid he runs in this position. These are almost like melismas. Free fall, whatever he's doing, he's really kind of approaching the runs differently than you would like an R&B or gospel or pop, so to speak. I bet he can kill some Handel's Messiah or some kind of Baroque something. He probably would just, if he wanted to. He probably can already now. That little squeak, that's singing. That is his art form. That is art. That little squeak right there, the little whistle tone squeak right there. You know, whatever he did, yeah, that's part of his art form. Yeah.
Here I come.
I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. And if you did, click subscribe down below. Then click the alert button next to it so you know when the next video is posted. And give this a like and a thumbs up so we can get out to more people, please. And that's how I will always continue to say to you, be vocally bold, creative, and aware, but most of all, be vocally you. All right, y'all. Love y'all. I'll see y'all soon.